Now I went to tell you about the Tinkers. And just briefly tell you about them because it's important. Look at this rain. The Tinkers have an association with the famine. Now you know what the Tinkers are, travellers, gypsies. They're all over the world. A lot of Irish ones. But the Tinkers here are people who were displaced from their homes during the time of the famine. That's who they are. That's where they originated from. Tinkers were people who were put out into the fields, wandering around. That's what they would do. They became Tinkers. The name Tinker comes from tinkering with tin. They used to mend pots and pans for a living, to make some kind of a living with the landlords. And then bring in a bit of hair straw or something. But that's where they got the name Tinkers, from tinkering with tin. Then they were called gypsies, travellers and knackers. The name knacker, of course, comes from a knackered horse, knacker's yard, when the horses are slaughtered. Travellers are all into horses. They're very good horse people. And that's why they call them knackers. Travellers, they like to be called travellers. That's their favourite name. A lot of them can be settled, have their own language here. We call it kite, K-I-T-E. That's a traveller language. It's like, it's made up, it's like Cockney slang. They have their own words for everything that we don't understand, and they only use it when they're in company of settled people, if they're up to something. That's what they do, travellers. And we have lots of in Ireland, there's a lot of communities of travellers here, both settled and not. Now a famous man, a famous traveller was a man called Dick Darby. And Dick Darby became a traveller by choice. He had an awful time with the women in his life. His mother, his sister, and his wife, and his father. He got so fed up, he headed for the road and joined the Tinkers, mending pots and pans and mending shoes. He brought on all his gear with him, his little hammer, his anvil, and his owls, just to mend things to get away from the family life. With the terrible time he was having, his father was a bad man, stealing stuff, sheep and everything. His mother was a nuisance and his wife was nagging him and his sister was always cleaning, so he got fed up with a whole lot of it and left. Now there's a song about it, there's a poem actually in the song. Now remember, I didn't write this. Anything in it has nothing to do with me, don't take any offence. Okay? Oh, my name is Dick Darby, I'm a cobbler, and I served my time at the old camp. Some call me an old agitator, but now I'm reclined to repent. Would me ring ting of a ning ting of a night oh. Would me ring ting of a ning ting of a night day. Would me roo boo boo randall, and me lapstone keeps fading away. Oh, it's many long years that I've travelled with the contents of me old pack, with me hammers, me owls and me pinchers. Sure I carry them all on me back. Oh, me father was hung for sheep stealing, my mother was burned for a witch, and my sister's a dandy housekeeper, and I'm a mechanical switch. Would me ring ting of a ning ting of a night oh. Would me ring ting of a ning ting of a night day. Would me roo boo boo randy, and me lapstone keeps fading away. Now my wife, she was humpy, she was lumpy. My wife, she's the devil, she's cracked, and no matter what I could do with her tongue, it goes blickety black. It was early one fine summer's morning, at light just before it was day. Well, I dipped her 3 times in the river, and I carelessly bade her good day. Now, that's what happens to a man when he gets nagged by 3 women. Shocking, isn't it? Now, would you mind playing the uilleann pipes tonight? No? No uilleann pipes? No. You know what an uilleann pipe is? It's similar to a bagpipe, except you don't have to use your mouth. Use one arm to squeeze it. Now, we invented the bagpipes here in Ireland. Now, you know what a bagpipe sounds like? Like a bag of cats, doesn't it? Squealing. They're horrible, aren't they? Well, we invented them and we gave them to the Scottish as a joke, and they never gave them back. Oh, well, that was a bit of luck, that wasn't it? We never lost them. They were happy marching around the Highlands of Scotland wearing skirts. We don't wear skirts here. That's a Scottish thing. Whatever they like to do, Scotland up in the Highlands. The Campbells and all those people, the MacDonalds, Now the big question is, of course, once they're playing their bagpipes, they're happy out marching around the Highlands of Scotland. We don't want them back. The thing about the kilt, they call it a kilt, we call it a skirt. What's worn under a kilt? How do you know?
Hearsay.
How do you know?
Hearsay.
Okay, have you had a look under a kilt?
Yeah.
All right. Well, now if it was a McDonald's, it would be a quarter pounder, wouldn't it? Joking. Now, some of you will have heard this. Now, when you drink too much, as usual, you fall down, you go to sleep. It's a terrible thing if you have a kilt on you, you fall down to sleep. Now, some of you will know this, some of you might not. I'm going to say it. A Scotsman clad in his tartan kilt left the pub one evening fair, and one could tell by the way he walked that he had drank his fair share. And as he wandered round and round till he could no longer keep his feet, then he stumbled off to sleep on the grass beside the street. Just then 2 young and lovely girls who happened to pass by, and one said to the other with a twinkle in her eye, "I see yon sleeping Scotsman, so strong and handsome built. I wonder if it's true what they say, they don't wear beneath their kilt." Well, they crept upon the sleeping Scot as quiet as they could be, and they lifted up his bonny kilt about an inch so they could see. And there behold before them, beneath that Scottish skirt, was no more than God had graced him with on the day of his birth. Well, they marvelled for a little while and said, "Well, let's be gone, but we'll leave a little present for our friend before we move along." So as a gift they gave him a blue ribbon tied in a bow around that Scottish side, underneath that skirt that him did show. Well, the Scotsman woke to nature's call. He stumbled towards the trees. As he lifted up his bonny kilt, he gasped at what he sees. And in a startled voice he says to what's before his eyes, "Och, laddie, I don't know where you've been, but I see you've won first prize." Write it down, write it down, write it down. Thank God I'm going home tonight, that's all. Reality. Now, where are we? 10:20. Well, I hope the hotel won't be too noisy for you tonight. Now, I don't know what the story is with the concert or what time it's over. A lot of people are actually staying in your hotel. I've seen them in and out checking in. So, those of you getting up early in the morning, I hope you won't be disturbed now. Again, just briefly, tomorrow morning, folks, those of you, cops, seatbelts.
Seatbelts, everybody.